The escalating Middle East conflict has sent shockwaves across the globe, with Europe feeling the tremors more than ever before. The crisis is shaking Europe's sense of security, forcing leaders to act swiftly and decisively in the face of mounting uncertainty. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot declared France's readiness to defend Gulf allies after Iran's unprecedented missile and drone attacks, emphasizing the importance of international solidarity. The crisis dramatically intensified after US and Israeli strikes reportedly killed Iran's supreme leader, triggering furious retaliation from Tehran and sparking widespread protests. Missiles struck cities like Dubai and Doha, dragging previously neutral nations into the conflict, and forcing Europe to urgently reassess its own security and diplomatic strategies. France's support signals that Gulf stability is now seen as vital to European security, with military deployments and diplomatic efforts ramping up across the continent. Europe's immediate priority is clear: contain the conflict, reassure partners, and coordinate with allies to prevent further escalation. The stakes are higher than ever, as Europe works to prevent a catastrophic regional war that could have global consequences. France's first and foremost concern is the safety and well-being of its 400,000 citizens living and working in the Gulf region, who now find themselves at risk as violence and instability begin to spread across the area. The French government is urgently preparing comprehensive evacuation plans, ramping up consular support, and coordinating closely with local authorities to ensure every citizen's safety. At the same time, France is deploying advanced air defense systems and naval assets throughout the Gulf, aiming to protect both its citizens and regional partners. These deployments are strictly defensive, not offensive. President Macron is personally reaching out to regional leaders, holding urgent talks, and reinforcing France's unwavering commitment to de-escalation, solidarity, and the protection of civilians. France's strategy is clear and multi-layered. Media group: French security teams protecting civilians, French military helping expatriates, French aid convoys in Gulf region Astaka distribute equally. Protect its citizens at all costs, provide defensive military aid to allies, and push relentlessly for diplomatic solutions to the crisis. The ultimate goal is straightforward. Media group: French and Gulf military personnel together, French soldiers with Gulf allies, joint military exercises in Gulf regioni, Staka distribute equally, defend France's allies in the region, and prevent the conflict from spiraling out of control and turning into a much wider, more devastating war for the entire region. France's actions are part of a united European response to the crisis. France, Germany, and the UK issued a joint statement condemning Iran's attacks and warning of defensive action if needed. Italy and Spain are sending naval and air defense assets to the region, bolstering protection for Cyprus and key shipping lanes. The UK has deployed the HMS Dragon and counter-drone helicopters, emphasizing a defensive, not offensive, stance. European warships and missile systems now form a protective arc across the eastern Mediterranean and Gulf. The message to Tehran: Europe seeks diplomacy, but will defend its interests and partners if necessary. France is carefully balancing its military readiness with a determined push for de-escalation in the region. While maintaining a strong defensive posture, French forces remain vigilant, prepared to respond to any threats that may arise. Foreign Minister Barrot has openly criticized the recent unilateral US-Israeli strikes, emphasizing the dangers of acting without broad international support. He urges the need for international consensus and insists on the importance of involving the United Nations in any response. France maintains that only the UN Security Council has the authority to legitimize the use of force, and continues to advocate for multilateral solutions to the crisis, believing that collective action is essential for stability. President Macron's direct talks with regional leaders are part of a broader effort to build a coalition for calm. By empowering local actors and encouraging dialogue, France hopes to prevent further escalation and foster trust among all parties. Leveraging its extensive diplomatic ties, France works tirelessly to mediate between conflicting sides and urge restraint. French officials warn that a wider war would have catastrophic consequences for the entire region and beyond. This dual approach, combining robust defense to deter aggression with intensive diplomacy to seek a political solution, reflects France's commitment to both security and peace. Ultimately, France believes that only a negotiated settlement, achieved through persistent diplomatic engagement, can bring lasting security and stability to the region. The conflict's shockwaves are rattling global energy markets, sending oil and gas prices soaring. Disruptions threaten Europe and Asia's energy supplies, fueling inflation and economic anxiety. Financial markets are jittery, with investors fleeing to safe havens and insurance costs for shipping skyrocketing. The European naval presence is as much about securing trade as it is about defense. The economic fallout highlights what's at stake. A wider war could trigger a global recession. The urgency for diplomacy has never been greater. Europe's leaders know the cost of failure is immense.